Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready. Ready?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If I could have your attention. Thank you, gentlemen. My name is Bruce Lee Clark. I am the moderator of this SVRTSD annual meeting at the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District. For those who want to know, I'm going to ask those who are at the table to introduce themselves, starting at my far left. Make sure that your microphone is on by good.
My name is Tim Kane, board member.
Anthony Williams.
Ken Schwer at Bennington.
Leon Johnson, North Bennington.
Meg Hunsinger, Superintendent Director at Southwest Vermont.
Mike Cutler, there we go, chair of the board.
Rebecca Tattersall, Business Manager of Southwest Tech.
Tim Wheeler, Bennington.
Dr. John Horsahowski, clerk of the board.
Asher Edelson, Bennington.
And Thomas West of Manchester.
Great. Now you can all turn those microphones off so we don't get any more feedback than we need. Thanks. So, this is typically a meeting that where we gather together for folks who have read, we hope, the report of the district and who have questions about the district and its report, and you may ask them when the time comes. If a subject that comes up that is something that we cannot legally deal with during this meeting, I will let you know, okay? Okay, so the legal voters of the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District Service Region, consisting of Arlington, Bennington, Dorset, Glastonbury, Manchester, North Bennington, Pownell, Reedsboro, Sandgate, Searsburg, Shaftesbury, Stamford, Sunderland, and Woodford, are hereby notified and warned to meet at the Bennington Firehouse, where we currently are, or to participate in the meeting by video conference by joining the Zoom link that has been previously published. To move the following business from the floor. Article 1, to establish the annual salaries of the district directors at $1,500 each, as long as they attend 50% of the meetings. Article 2, to establish the annual salary of the district treasurer at $15,000. Article 3, to establish the annual salary of the district clerk at $1,200. Article 4, to establish the annual salary of the district moderator at $100. To authorize the, Article 5, to authorize the school district board to borrow money in anticipation of revenues to meet current operating expenses of the district for the 2025, 2026, 2027 school year. To hold a public information hearing on articles to be voted upon by Australian ballot on March 3rd, 2026. And Article 7, to transact any other business found proper when met. So I would first entertain a motion that we, if someone would wish to take all of those first 7 articles together, and then we can vote on it. So if you would like to move that they be adopted. Thank you. Is there a second? There's at least. Okay, Sean Marie and Mary. Okay. At this point in time, are there any questions regarding the reports of this school district, this regional technical school district? Any questions, any concerns, any issues that you want to raise at this time? Someone came up to me and said they had questions, so are they not here? Apparently not. All that being good, then all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It's carried. Then, the legal voters of the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District, number V009, are hereby notified and warned further to meet on Tuesday, March 3, 2026, when the polls will be open to transact business by Australian ballot as follows. Article A, to elect 3 school directors who are legal residents of the service region as listed above in accordance with the bylaws of the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District, each for a term of 3 years. Article B, to elect a clerk for the unexpired term of 2 years of a 3-year term. Article C, shall the voters of the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District approve the school board to expend $5,437,438, which is the amount the school board has determined to be necessary for the ensuing fiscal year. And Article D, shall the voters of the service region of the Southwest Vermont Regional Technical School District increase the existing reserve fund for capital improvements and existing reserve fund for equipment by the sum of $60,000 and $20,000 respectively. Voting will begin tomorrow on Tuesday, March 3rd, and shall be at large by Australian ballot. The polls will be open as indicated as follows. Residents of Bennington vote in the Bennington Fire Department, 130 River Street, Bennington, Vermont. Polls open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Dorset vote at the town offices, 200 Raptor Lane, Dorset, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Glastonbury vote at Shaftesbury Town Garage, 526 North Road, Shaftesbury, Vermont. Polls open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Manchester vote at Manchester Town Hall, 40 Jeff Williams Way, Manchester, Vermont. Polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of North Bennington vote at North Bennington Village Trustee's Office, 2 Depot Street, North Bennington, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Pownell vote at the town office, 511 Center Street, Pownell, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sorry, there's a lot more. That's good. Did I miss the Arlington? I did miss Arlington. Thank you. Let me go back to Arlington. They get to vote. Residents of Arlington vote at Arlington Memorial High School, 529 East Arlington Road, Arlington, Vermont. Polls from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Reedsboro vote at Reedsboro Central School, 321 Phelps Lane, Reedsboro, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Sandgate vote at the Sandgate Town Hall, 3266 Sandgate Road, Sandgate, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Searsburg vote at Searsburg Town Hall, 18 Town Garage Road, Searsburg, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Shaftesbury vote at Town Garage, 526 North Road, Shaftesbury, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Stamford vote at Stamford Elementary School Community Room, 966 Main Road, Stamford, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Residents of Sunderland vote at Sunderland Town Municipal Building, 104 Mountain View Road, Sunderland, Vermont. Polls will be open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And finally, residents of Woodford vote at Woodford Town Hall, 1391 Vermont Route 9, Woodford, Vermont. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Is there any other business or questions for this board or any other business to be contracted at this time? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn until the votes are open tomorrow. Mary moves to adjourn. Any second? I hear them. Great. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It's carried. We are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2026 annual meeting for the town of Bennington, Vermont. Thank you for being here tonight. Remember, when you speak, I will recognize you. We have an agenda we're going through tonight. Anything that is non-germane to tonight's agenda will not be allowed to speak about. We're here to talk about the election tomorrow, and there'll be a point in the meeting where if you have questions for the select board or the town officials to talk about what's in the town report, there'll be plenty of time to ask questions about that. Our agenda tonight generally is we will go through the warning first. We have some legislative proclamations second. We will then get into a presentation from Shannon Barsati, who is the Community Development Director and the new Assistant Town Manager, and Jonas Spivak, who is the Communications Coordinator for the town of Bennington. We will then address Select Board compensation for the upcoming year. We will then have a time to have questions asked or comments made about what's in the town report. And then we have several budget articles that we will go through, and those are for the agencies that are seeking funding through the town budget process, and they will each have 3 minutes to talk about what they are asking for and what their organizations deliver. Before we get started, and I'm sure on everybody's mind tonight, is a gentleman by the name of Stu Hurd, who is not here tonight. I got to know Stu starting about 22 years ago. I got to know him better when I was on the select board and have had a chance to work with him pretty closely for the last 2 decades. And in addition to enjoying every minute of working with him, earned a deep respect for him, because there are few people you will cross in life who dedicate 52 years of their life to serving a small rural community, and that is in fact what Stu Hurd did, and did very well. So before we get on with tonight's agenda, I would like a brief moment of silence in memory of our former town manager and friend, Stu Hurd. Thank you. And to lead us tonight in the Pledge of Allegiance is the Honorable Justine Scanlon. And we are allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. The following is the warning for the annual meeting. The residents of the town of Bennington, qualified by law to vote in town meeting, are hereby notified and warned to meet in said town on Monday, March 2nd, 2026 at 7 p.m. to transact the business specified to be done from the floor. Following the completion of such business, the meeting will stand adjourned to Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at the Bennington Fire Facility on River Street using the Lincoln Street entrance, which is probably where most everybody entered tonight. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the election of officers and voting on all ballot articles specified. Those on the checklist to vote in the village of North Bennington shall vote for the election of officers and on all ballot articles at the North Bennington Village Office on Depot Street in North Bennington. That is the North Bennington train station for those who are watching. The Bennington Fire Facility, where we are tonight, above mentioned, is hereby established as the central polling place for those on the checklist to vote in said Bennington. Residents of Bennington and North Bennington may register to vote at the town clerk's office at 205 South Street in Bennington, Vermont. Eligible residents registering on Election Day must do so at the polling place where they will cast their town meeting ballot. At this time, it is my understanding that Representative Mary Morrissey has 2 legislative proclamations. Representative Morrissey, you are recognized.
Good evening. I have a resolution that was done in honor of Stuart Hurd, our town manager who passed away. I would like the other representatives and senators to join me, as well as Justine, please, as I read the resolution honoring Stuart. A resolution in the state of Vermont goes down in the history of in the archives that we have honored this fine gentleman. And so with that, may I give you this? A House Concurrent Resolution HCR 193, offered by Representative Morrissey, Corcoran, Greer, and Nigro of Bennington, as well as Senators Bongartz and Plunkett. House Concurrent Resolution in memory of Bennington Town Manager Stuart Allen Hurd. Whereas during his over half-century of innovative municipal public service in the town of Bennington, Stuart Hurd adeptly applied the hands-on problem-solving skills that he had studied in a civil engineering student at Worcester Polytech Institute. And whereas in 1973, while visiting a friend in Vermont, the Connecticut native read a job announcement from the town of Bennington seeking the community's first zoning administrator, and his hiring benefited the future of Bennington in ways never imagined. And whereas having proven an effective zoning administrator, the Bennington Select Board subsequently chose Stuart Hurd to serve as assistant town manager, and ultimately in 1992 named him town manager, launching a historic tenure in this role that lasted for nearly 33 years, only 18 months short of the state's longevity record for a town manager. And whereas Stuart Hurd was known for his unparalleled dedication to the community and for his calm demeanor, and whereas in 2008, the Vermont League of Cities and Towns honored him with its prestigious Vermont Municipal Service Award. And whereas Stuart Hurd's community leadership included roles on the former Bennington School District Board and with a number of local nonprofit organizations. And whereas outside his professional life, Stuart embraced the arts, including as an amateur watercolorist who created Christmas cards, enthusiastically played in Bennington's men's basketball and softball leagues, enjoyed international travel, and spent quality time with his family. And whereas Stuart Hurd died at 77 years of age on August 30th, 2025, following a 4-year battle against cancer. And his survivors include his spouse, D. Justine Scanlon. And in his honor, the town of Bennington flew the municipality's flags at half-mast for 5 days, representing each of his 5 decades of exemplary municipal public employment. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Senate and House of Representatives, that the General Assembly expresses its sincere condolences to the family and colleagues of Bennington Town Manager Stuart Allen Hurd, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to the family of Stuart Hurd and the town of Bennington. And the other proclamation is kind of a yearly proclamation that we do, and I'm remembering Jan Martin Bob this evening. Jan had started years ago a wonderful group that helps to support those who have multiple myeloma, a cancer that is very difficult in detecting. And so we think of all of our cancer patients in the different cancers tonight, but we especially, because March is the month of multiple myeloma that we remember across the country. So the governor did a proclamation, an executive department proclamation, whereas multiple myeloma is a cancer of plasma cells in the bone marrow and is called multiple because it can occur at various sites in the body. And whereas multiple myeloma causes a variety of adverse health effects, including weakened immune system, anemia, kidney damage, and bone deterioration. And whereas multiple myeloma is the second most common blood cancer worldwide, and whereas multiple myeloma affects more than 100,000 people in the United States each year. And whereas once predominantly found among those 65 and over, where it continues to be frequently diagnosed, multiple myeloma is increasingly being identified in younger individuals, including those in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And whereas multiple myeloma is almost twice as likely to occur among African Americans and is one of the leading causes of cancer deaths among African Americans, with scientific understanding of the disparity remaining unknown. And whereas the cause of multiple myeloma is not known, with robust research being performed in the United States and internationally into potential genetic, environmental, and other risk factors. And whereas additional new drugs and therapies are in the research phase, this patient enrollment in clinical trials playing an important role in determining safe and effective treatment. And whereas understanding the treatment of multiple myeloma has been greatly furthered by the role of advocacy initiatives promoting awareness, education, research, peer review, and collaboration, and such efforts are to be highly commended. And whereas greater awareness of a multiple myeloma on the part of clinicians and the general public can lead to early detection and treatment, improving health outcomes and bringing comfort to patients and families. Now therefore, I, Philip B. Scott, Governor, hereby proclaim the month of March 2026 as Multiple Myeloma Awareness Month in the state of Vermont. And tonight I will have Ken Swihard who is a survivor of multiple myeloma, accept this proclamation to bring back to his delegation.
Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Just so you'll know that we have probably one of the best cancer centers around, and if anybody that you know has it or yourself, just take a visit over here to the Cancer Center at Southwest Medical Center, because the people there are really good and really knowledgeable. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the town report. To hear the report of the town officers are Shannon Barsotti and Jonah Spivak.
Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's good to see you all. Because we're coming together here for our 246th annual town meeting. Huzzah. It's a proud tradition that we share with just 5 other states in New England. And the tradition continues tomorrow with what is really the second course of 2 courses, right? Tonight is town meeting, and tomorrow, of course, is voting day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you just heard from our moderator where your voting locations are. On behalf of the town of Bennington, we present to you this report of the town officers. My name is Jonah Spivak. I'm the communications coordinator for the town of Bennington. And with me is Shannon Barsotti, Director of Housing, Community and Economic Development, and Assistant Town Manager. Shannon.
Thanks, Jonah. Good evening, everyone. So we want to begin with the town's vision statement. Bennington is a welcoming, engaged, inclusive, and resilient community where everyone, regardless of identity, shares in our vitality and benefits from an outstanding quality of life. The town motto is serving people through teamwork, and we're here tonight to highlight a sampling of the accomplishments of our town departments in 2025.
And this year and next, we continue to commemorate the 250th anniversaries. Yes, 3 anniversary years. We had to start last year in 2025 to not miss the expedition to capture Fort Ticonderoga by, of course, Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys from our very own here in Bennington. That was the first offensive victory of the American Revolution, and we played a starring role. This year, we will, of course, honor the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And whatever we do this year is a build-up and to next year, which I would say is Vermont's signature anniversary year. That, of course, is the anniversary of the founding of the Republic of Vermont and the battles of Hubbardton and Bennington. You can learn more about upcoming anniversary activities and events at bennington250.org.
All right, well, sorry for the noise, folks. All right, great. And thank you to our town staff who, normally we would be up on the 3rd floor, but today the elevator was malfunctioning, so that's why we're here. And we had a quick response to get it set up here. So in 2025, the Bennington Police Department processed 1,220 criminal offenses, responded to 11,797 calls for service, issued 1,368 Vermont civil violation complaints, and also investigated 289 motor vehicle crashes. Through strong collaboration with state and federal law enforcement partners, Bennington experienced a decrease in violent crime in 2025. The department also continued partnerships with service organizations to connect community members with essential services. The department and the Bennington Police Association also hosted numerous community events, such as New Experience Camp for Youth and Bennington Night Out.
Like our police department, our fire department provides an essential service to our community. The department is currently staffed by 45 active volunteer members who responded to 315 calls for service in this past year and provided fire safety training to 200 community members, focusing on fire prevention and proper extinguisher use. In addition to emergency response and education, members actively participated in community events such as the National Night Out, Bennington Battle Day planning and celebrations, and a variety of programs with the SVSU and other schools.
Our hardworking team at the Highway Department maintains 128 miles of roads, 13 bridges, 475 catch basins, and 40 miles of sidewalk. They also maintain 4 cemeteries, the downtown sidewalks and street sweeping, downtown trash removal, and townwide rural roadside mowing. DPW's 2025 accomplishments reflect a year of major infrastructure improvements carried out with significant in-house expertise. Crews installed new curb and sidewalk along the south side of Gage Street, completed a new bridge on Mount Anthony Road, and refurbished the concrete bridge on Murphy Road with extensive repairs, new curbing, and sealing that was all done in-house. Additional upgrades included installing a new stormwater main on Gage, adding drainage, new concrete curb, sidewalks, and fresh pavement on Silver Street, and completing the grading, landscaping, and parking lot at the new skate park.
The Water Department is responsible for supplying clean drinking water to approximately 15,000 users through 4,400 connections, 92 miles of water mains, and their 2025 accomplishments really reflect a year of steady, hands-on system improvements focused on reliability and long-term resilience. Crews completed 50 hydrant repairs and installed 3 new fire and flushing hydrants, while also addressing 13 water main breaks or leaks across the system. 2 new pressure relief valves were installed, and a week-long leak detection program was done to identify and prevent future losses. And what looks like a plain metal building on the outside, inside contains a sophisticated operation where our water treatment team is constantly balancing environmental factors, pH, and chemicals to provide 592 millions of gallons of water to our community last year. That's about 1.6 million gallons a day. The town also reaped some financial benefits from selling excess water produced by the Morgan Spring. A total of 6.4 million gallons of bulk water was sold in 2025. The last part of the water system is our sewer system and wastewater treatment facility, arguably the most important part. The wastewater crew is a 5-person crew plus a laboratory technician and a chief operator. Together, they are responsible for treating over 1.37 billion gallons of water each year through 67 miles of sanitary sewer mains, and they also maintain 1,300 manholes, 5 pumping stations, as well as running and maintaining the town's on-site sludge dewatering and composting facility. The Wastewater Department's 2025 accomplishments highlight a year of significant system maintenance and modernization. Crews cleaned 81 sewer manholes and more than 21,000 feet of sewer lines, strengthening flow capacity and reducing the risk of blockages. Planning also advanced for the replacement of the aging 40-year-old sand filter, an important step towards improving long-term treatment of phosphorus. Bennington has an enormous infrastructure, which is primarily unseen, but must never be forgotten.
Our Planning Commission, along with the Planning Department, performs municipal planning functions for Bennington, including the development of the town plan and land use and development regulations. In 2025, the Planning Commission advanced several major initiatives. Working closely with the BCRC, the Bennington County Regional Commission, the Planning Commission developed a new town plan shaped by extensive public outreach, and the Select Board adopted the new plan in November. The Commission also continued its strong support for pathways, including progress on the next phase of the Williamsack Valley Path. I guess I'm
Get 2 in a row.
I get 2 in a row. My Office of Housing, Community, and Economic Development administers the town's revolving loan programs, identifies grant opportunities with community partners, and manages state and federal grant funding. In 2025, we gave out $335,000 in loans for small business development and housing development. We received $260,000 in state grant funds for the new skate park. We also received $4.4 million in state and federal grant funds to support the redevelopment of Ben High, and another $1.7 million in state and federal funding for recovery housing projects on North Street and Gage Street. Additional grants supported a Pleasant Street Historic District, murals at the Multicultural Community Center, and a new Bennington Youth Council.
My role as the town's communications coordinator is to share information about the activities of the town on behalf of the community. This includes using all available media channels to get information out to you, as well as fulfilling public records requests, creating signage and materials as needed, and maintaining the town's website. Over the past year, I've assisted on several projects, including presentations for various town departments, listening sessions, including a presentation on the Battle Monument, sharing state information about projects like the Peanut Roundabout and Bridge Number 6. I've also been working on 250th anniversary related projects for this year and planning for 2027. Facebook is our primary social media channel. In 2024, our Facebook posts had over 595,000 views, and in 2025, we had over 2.5 million views, a rather extraordinary increase.
Our Buildings and Grounds Department is responsible for the maintenance of all town-owned buildings and outdoor recreation facilities and grounds. In 2025, the department completed several significant community projects, including the Walloomsac Valley Pathway Surface, added bridges, and the finish work on the Bennington Skate Park. They also completed repairs to the town office exterior wall and installed new electric heat pumps. Additionally, more Hometown Hero banners were installed, continuing the town's commitment to honoring local service members and enriching the character of public streetscapes. This year, Mark Sawyer retired after 37 years of dedicated service to the town of Bennington. Mark was instrumental to the continued improvement of town of Bennington facilities and recreation areas. He will be deeply missed. Our new Assistant Director of Buildings and Grounds is Dan Cornell, who has stepped up to fill Mark's very big shoes.
The Information Technology Department is responsible for all technology, connectivity, and communication systems for the town of Bennington. The town completed extensive technology upgrades across departments, including major camera installations, wireless network expansions, and new connectivity for water, sewer, and wastewater facilities. Additional work included network integration at pump stations, technology updates for the recreation center, repairs to DPW camera systems, new computers for the senior center, and a transition to a new mobile device time management system.
In our Parks and Recreation Department, the YMCA continued to expand its impact in 2025, managing staff and operations at the rec center and offering a wide range of programs at the Bennington Sports Center and Senior Center, including group exercise, community sports, weekly social programming for seniors, and no-cost senior center memberships. Summer camp served more than 350 children, supported by a fourth year of partnership with the SVSU Summer Recovery Program. After-school programming grew to over 150 participants, and youth offerings ranged from sports and swim lessons to leadership programs, school break camps, and special events. And the Y also opened a licensed early child care center in the Sports Center building this year.
Our town clerk's office continues a tradition going back to the founding of our town. Many of our land records are now available in digital format. Our town clerk is responsible for everything related to elections, from early voting ballots to handling and organizing voting day polling stations. If you've ever had questions about election integrity or what controls are in place to ensure that integrity, we invite you to come in and learn more. They also handle our vital records, land records, dog licenses, and marriage certificates. This year, we honor and thank our former town clerk, Cassandra Barbo, for her years of excellent service to the town, and we now welcome Kayla Thompson, who has moved up from the assistant town clerk position.
The town office is the heart of our town government. It is located at 205 South Street in what was originally the Henry Root homestead, built in 1844. The house was donated to the town for municipal use by his descendants in 1920. It includes the town clerk's office, the lister's and assessor's office, planning department, health officer, zoning and code enforcement, collections, town management, and support staff, as well as Jonah and myself. Our town finance and HR departments are next door in the old blacksmith shop at 215 South Street.
But our town is more than just the select board and our town departments. We're very grateful to the dozens of citizens just like you who man the various boards and commissions that are vital to the running of our town. You see them listed on the screen here. Are you somebody that would like to be more involved in community? This is a great way to do it. And it's a great way to help serve your community as a whole.
And finally, we also want to honor Stuart Hurd. Stuart Hurd's extraordinary 52-year career with the town of Bennington stands as a testament to steadfast service and quiet, determined leadership. Hired in 1973, despite early resistance to selecting an out-of-towner, the young civil engineer quickly proved the doubters wrong. What began as a controversial appointment to a newly created zoning administrator position became a lifetime of public service marked by professionalism, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to the community. Over the next 2 decades, Stuart served under 5 town managers before becoming assistant town manager, and in 1992, town manager, a role in which he built a highly effective team and set a standard for municipal leadership admired across Vermont. Stuart's expectations were clear. Public trust must be earned through efficient, high-quality service, a principle he embodied throughout his tenure. His leadership shaped systems, mentored generations of employees, and strengthened the town he served with humility and purpose. Stuart Hurd passed away on August 30th, 2025 at age 77, leaving a legacy that endures and a community deeply grateful for his service. "Don't push the river, it flows by itself," a favorite quote of his, now feels like a fitting reflection of a life lived with steady purpose.
And as a final way to honor Stuart, he always told us we are not allowed to give a presentation at town meeting that takes more than 15 minutes. It has taken 15 minutes. Thank you very much.
It's a great presentation. Before we move on, are there any questions for Shannon or Jonah on that presentation? Okay, you answered them all. Next, our Article 2 in tonight's agenda is Select Board compensation, which needs to be voted on from the floor. I know the current compensation, and it was voted on last year, is $1,400 per year per Select Board member, and I presume Dan or Tom or anybody, that's what was budgeted in the budget for this year. So is there a motion on the floor to, I see a motion, is that motion to set the compensation of $1,400? Okay, that motion is on the floor. Per selectman, $1,400 per year per selectman. Is there a second to that motion, or is there any discussion on that? I hear a second. Is there any further debate on that? Seeing none, all those in favor of compensating Select Board members at a rate of $1,400 for the next fiscal year, please signify by saying aye. If you are opposed, please signify by saying no. The ayes have it. Select Board compensation is $1,400 for the next year. At this time, we are at the point in the meeting where you've all had a chance to receive or have received copies of the town report. You've heard the presentation from Shannon and Jonah. Are there any questions? We will get to the budget articles in a moment, but are there any questions for the town officers, the town staff, or the select board members based on the town report or any issues addressing the town today? If you do, I'd like you to raise your hand. You will be recognized. You'll need to come to the microphone and identify yourself, and then you will be recognized. Is there anybody that would like to be recognized on that? Okay, hearing none, we are going to go on to the articles. There are 14 articles, and rather than read all 14, I would like somebody to make a motion that I will read the first article, but won't bore you with articles 2 through 14, which you will hear about from the representatives of the agencies. Is there a motion to? There's a motion for the waiver of 2 through 14. Is there a second? There's a second. All those in favor, please say aye. There should be none opposed to that, but are there any opposed to that? The ayes have it. The budget article, Article 1, that will be voted on tomorrow is as follows. Shall the town appropriate for the next fiscal year, July 1st, 2026, through June 30, 2027, the total sum of $19,190,400, consisting of the following: $6,017,630,000 for the laying out, maintaining, and repairing of the highways and bridges of the town, and $13,172,770 for payment of the following: any indebtedness not otherwise specifically provided for, interest on indebtedness, legally authorized state and county taxes, the prosecution and defense of the common rights and interests of the inhabitants of the town, and for other necessary and incidental expenses. The proposed budget includes $35,000 for fire facilities, $10,000 for parking improvements, $15,000 for technology improvements, $5,000 for pool maintenance, $9,000 for tennis court maintenance, $5,000 for public works facilities, $25,000 for highway equipment, $3,500 for CPARB training, $15,000 for traffic calming improvements, $616,990 for healthcare reserve and workers' compensation insurance, $200,000 for bridges, and $2,000 for well maintenance, any unexpended portion of which will be reserved to subsequent years for that purpose. At this time, we have several representatives from several agencies. They each have a maximum of 3 minutes. These are the individual ballot articles for agency funding tomorrow, for that funding to come through the town, and the amounts that you will see both in the warning tonight in your booklet on pages 50 and 51. You will also see it on your ballot tomorrow when you vote. So first is Jenna Caslin here from the Bennington County Association Against Child Abuse. Jenna, could you please come forward, and you are recognized for 3 minutes.
So, good evening. I'm Jenna Caslin. I'm the executive director. We're the Bennington County Association Against Child Abuse, but we're better known as our operating name, the Bennington County Child Advocacy Center. So, when a child in our community experiences sexual abuse, they come to us. We provide a safe, child-friendly place where they only have to tell their story once. We coordinate with law enforcement, the Department of Children and Families, medical providers, and prosecutors so families don't have to navigate these systems alone. Our work is about protecting children, supporting families in their hardest moments, and working towards prevention so fewer children ever need our services. Last year alone, we saw 93 new cases for Bennington County. We're grateful for the community's continued support in keeping Bennington County's children safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Article 3 is Project Against Violent Encounters. I don't have a name, but who is here to speak for Project Against Violent Encounters, also known as PAVE? Going once, going twice, on to the next. Next is Green Mountain Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, also known as RSVP. They are on the ballot for $5,500 tomorrow. Is there anybody here to speak for that organization? Okay. You can please identify yourself when you speak. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Erica Walsh. I'm not a resident of Bennington, and I'm here to speak about Green Mountain RSVP. We are an AmeriCorps Seniors funded program, and we do two things. One is matching people aged 55 and older with volunteer opportunities, and the other is we put on free to attend Bone Builders exercise classes, which are strength training classes. We have currently 73 volunteers who live in the town of Bennington, and we have about 150 in Bennington County. There's two that I see here tonight. And so we just added one new Bone Builders class in Bennington at the Second Congregational Church, and town funding goes mostly towards the weights that we use in our strength training classes. It costs about $1,000 per class for weights, because people are getting strong and using heavier weights. So that's what we ask for from the town, and that's how it will be put to use.
Thank you, Erica. Our next agency is Brock Community Action in southwestern Vermont. I do not have a name. Is anybody here from Brock? Is there anybody here from Brock? Seeing none, we will move on to the Southwest Council on Aging. Also, Erica, or are you here for the Southwest Council on Aging? Yes, I am. Okay, Peter Lawrence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll move this. How you doing, Jim? Good evening, everyone. I am Peter Lawrence. I'm on the board of the Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging. I am a Bennington resident. The Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging is the designated area agency on aging serving Bennington and Rutland counties. For more than 50 years, Southwestern Vermont Council on Aging has partnered with towns, volunteers, and community organizations in support of older Vermonters, their families, and caregivers. Our mission is to empower older Vermonters to age with dignity, independence, and quality of life. I have put on the table over there a handout about the services and what we have provided for Bennington. So feel free to pick one of those up, because as you can tell, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to try and be very quick. We are the primary funding source for the Bennington Meals on Wheels. We also provide wellness, caregiver, and volunteer support, and have case manager and outreach support. Case managers meet privately in a client's home or at an agreed-upon location to assess the client's needs, address housing and safety issues, and coordinate services. One quick thing, besides being on the board, I am also a client of the Council on Aging, because when and this may be common to other people here, when my health insurance carrier left the state of Vermont and I needed to get health insurance rather quickly because, like we're hearing a lot, I've also been diagnosed with cancer. So this was an emergency thing. I met with a representative of the Council on Aging who was able to help me identify appropriate and affordable insurance, which I got, and so I was very happy with what they were able to provide for me. So again, I hope that you'll support us at the ballot tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Our next agency is the Vermont Center for Independent Living, and we don't have a name, so when you come forth, please identify, and you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of VCIL. Sorry, I have a little bit of laryngitis. My name is Colleen Arcodia, and I'm a peer advocate counselor coordinator. The Vermont Center for Independent Living is a peer-to-peer cross-disability advocacy organization. We assist peers in all facets of their lives through our core services, which consist of information and referral, peer advocacy counseling, systems advocacy, independent living skills training, and transition services, including nursing home and youth transition. Our main programs are the Home Access Program that provides ramps and bathroom modifications, the Sue Williams Freedom Fund that provides funding for disability-related equipment and technology, the Vermont Telecommunications Distribution Program that distributes telecommunications equipment to low-income, deaf, deafblind, hard of hearing, and physically disabled Vermonters who require adaptive equipment for communication, and Meals on Wheels for people under the age of 60 with disabilities and chronic health conditions that limit their ability to cook. I've included a handout with the number of peers served and the dollar amount spent on these programs for the board and anyone who would like one with the town clerk.
Hi, my name is Wendy Lyons, and I'm a peer advocate counselor, and some of the things that we focus on is addressing the critical needs of our peers that we work with in Bennington County, particularly in securing fair, accessible, and affordable housing, healthcare, and food security. Over the past year, my work has been involved actively participating in meetings dedicated not only to identifying these issues, but also developing effective, safe, and accessible solutions for peers who are seeking shelter during severe weather. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Tutorial Center. I did see Sean Marie Aller, and you must be Dave Younts, and they're on the ballot for $10,000 tomorrow. You are recognized for 3 minutes.
Good evening. I'm Dave Younts. I am the new executive director for the Tutorial Center, doing my best to follow in the footsteps of my friend and colleague, Sean Marie Aller, who I would ask, if you know her, please thank her for her service to Bennington County, to the state of Vermont. She has been a tireless advocate for this community for quite some time, and I'm just trying to learn from her and do the best I can. The Tutorial Center is an organization that serves adult learners. In the state of Vermont, that's defined as individuals 16 and older, and we specifically work to support folks who have had a hard time getting that credential, high school diploma, GED, whatever that key credential may be that will allow them to enter the workforce and move on to do what they would like to do in the community. We believe that achieving those types of goals leads to a stable workforce. We believe that a stable workforce leads to a thriving community. We believe a thriving community leads to stronger families. Like, everything is interconnected, and that work of education is something I believe in, we believe in, and we care quite a bit about. We're located at 451 Main Street. For your geographic marker, that's 2 doors to the west of the Angry Egg. That's how I describe it to folks that don't know, but right in the heart of downtown Bennington, where the overwhelming bulk of our service is provided. And we are really excited just to be with you tonight, grateful to be on the ballot. The support that the town has provided to the Tutorial Center. By the way, we've been in this role for more than 50 years serving in the town of Bennington. The support goes directly to our instructors. It goes directly to equipment for our students. It goes directly to materials, everything that it takes to help our students work their way through the programs that will get them to their own individual targets. Thanks for having me tonight, and appreciate your support tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Dave, and welcome to Bennington. Next, we have Bennington Project Independence, which is on the ballot for $11,000 tomorrow, and Linda Putney is here to speak on Bennington Project Independence.
Good evening. My name is Linda Putney, and I'm a board member of Bennington Project Independence Adult Day Service. I believe that most of you know that BPI is a very special adult day service. If you asked any of our participants, we call them members, you would find that out. One member says that BPI is his happy place. Another says that he likes everything that is offered at BPI. He says the food and the whole environment is great, and the staff goes above and beyond. This past November, we held an open house for the community to see the expansion of our facility on Harwood Hill. We now have more space for more members, and are able to provide services for more adults that are facing the challenges of aging and disabilities. We now have a special art room with an art therapist who comes 2 days a week. We have an additional living room and dining room. We have a special bathtub, which allows people who can't get into a tub the luxury of a warm bath. We also have an additional nurse's station and more. Medical professionals in our area tell us that they very often refer BPI services for patients and their families because of the high level of service provided. One physician said, "We have sent many patients to BPI. They all love it. They enjoy the company, the food, and the nursing care is great. Great communication." As a former caregiver myself, my mother who had Alzheimer's disease, I can personally tell you that the staff are absolutely wonderful, and I don't know what I would have done without BPI. Another caregiver told us the following: "The care and respect for our elderly father was above and beyond. We couldn't have cared for him as well without BPI services. We looked forward to seeing his BPI. He looked forward to seeing his BPI family every day." And another caregiver wrote this: "BPI is a wonderful place. My husband felt safe, important, and was always treated with respect and dignity while at BPI. And importantly, I felt secure to do the things that I needed to do because I knew he was safe at BPI." So I thank you for the opportunity to share these testimonials, and I'd like to thank the voters for their support in the past and ask for their support again this coming year. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next, representing Greater Bennington Interfaith Council and the Bennington Free Clinic, which is on the ballot for $12,500 tomorrow, is Todd Clark.
Good evening. I'm Todd Clark. I'm on the Board of Directors of Greater Bennington Community Services, commonly known as GBICS. Bennington Free Clinic is one of our programs. The clinic has been in operation for 17 years, beginning in January of 2009. It is located in the GBICS building at 121 Depot Street. The Free Clinic serves people who do not have health insurance because they cannot afford it. We also serve many people who are underinsured because they have high deductibles. We provide free primary medical care and care coordination. When appropriate, we refer patients to specialists in the community. In 2025, the clinic staff saw 217 unique individuals with 582 appointments. Approximately 60% are from Bennington and North Bennington. We have an amazing team of volunteers. We have 14 doctors, 1 physician assistant, 1 nurse practitioner, and 12 nurses. We sponsor and help staff an annual remote area medical RAM pop-up clinic at Mount Anthony Middle School each August. The clinic provides free medical, dental, and vision care. In 2025, we served over 237 patients at the RAM clinic. The Bennington Free Clinic provides other services. We help our patients get enrolled in one of Vermont's lower-cost health insurance programs. In 2025, we did 582 consultations and helped 84 people get enrolled in one of these programs. In 2025, our providers completed federally required physicals and health assessments for 38 newly arrived refugees from Afghanistan, Venezuela, Congo, and Eritrea. We screen all patients for substance abuse and use, depression and other mental health issues, and smoking. When needed, our staff does a brief intervention and makes referrals with other providers in the community. All female patients are screened for breast, cervical, and cardiovascular disease, and then checked to see if they are eligible for our women's health education and wellness program called You First. All patients are screened for urgent oral health needs and referred to local providers for care. We offer flu, COVID vaccinations in the fall and throughout the year. Our town allocation is used to help pay for lab, x-ray, diagnostic test, imaging, and other outpatient services at Southwestern Vermont Medical Center, as well as prescriptions for our patients. The town allocation is also used to help us pay for our medical supplies and equipment. The Bennington Free Clinic is a busy place. We ask for your yes vote to help us continue our critical work for our neighbors.
Thank you, Todd. Next, we have Sunrise Family Resource Center. I don't have a name, but they are on the ballot for $15,000 tomorrow. If you can come forward and identify yourself, please. You are recognized for 3 minutes.
My name is Patty Randall. I am on the Board of Directors at the Sunrise Family Resource Center. The mission of Sunrise Family Resource Center is to strengthen families throughout Bennington County. Sunrise partners with individuals, families, and community members to provide a wide range of supports and services that promote growth and development. Our work focuses on building family strengths, expanding opportunities, and offering critical assistance during times of stress. Sunrise Family Resource Center, and I'm sure you all have heard of Sunrise Family Resource Center if you're all from Bennington. I mean, it's just an amazing program. Sunrise Family Resource Center continues to hold 10 long-standing contracts, including our early care and education program and our on-site alternative high school for pregnant and parenting youth, programs widely recognized and valued across the community. In recent years, we have expanded our services with additional home visiting programs and an increased array of parent-centered supports such as parent education, playgroups, dad and kid groups, art workshops, Warm the Children, and the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. These expansions are direct responses to identified community needs. As an active member of the Unaccompanied Youth Task Force, Sunrise has secured grants to provide basic needs support to vulnerable youth in Bennington. Since taking over local administration of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, Sunrise has fundraised and written grants to ensure every enrolled child from birth to age 5 receives a free monthly book. We also host Dolly Parton Imagination Library playgroups and story times to increase program enrollment and build early literacy connections. Sunrise is responsible for covering all book costs, making continued fundraising essential. To accommodate our growing staff and expanded services, Sunrise purchased the Manus House at 127 Union Street, which will offer increased space for programming and new parent-caregiver leadership opportunities. We anticipate opening this site in mid-2026. We are committed to intentionally support the growth and development of caregivers as they become more connected to their community by providing a host of experiences and opportunities that they might otherwise not have. We recently received another 3-year grant from the William J. and Dorothy K. O'Neill Foundation of $450,000 to continue this work. Housing instability continues to be one of the most significant challenges facing families in our region. Homelessness, unsafe housing conditions, and eviction prevention remain urgent concerns. This year, we lost ERAP funding, which provided a housing navigating staff, which was a significant loss to the community. Families increasingly rely on Sunrise for access to food, meals, diapers, gas cards, support with utilities, and other basic needs. Supports that help reduce stress so parents can focus on their children's well-being. Through the Vermont Community Women's Grant, Sunrise again provided 3 reliable used vehicles to women and children in need this year. After extensive preparation, Sunrise successfully launched our Salesforce database, greatly improving data tracking, reporting, and program coordination. We also purchased a van to transport students to our high school program, resulting in improved attendance. While we have made progress in hiring qualified early care and education staff, workforce development remains a national and local challenge. We, of course, have funding gaps. Many of our essential programs remain unfunded or underfunded, including the Parent Advisory Council, our diaper bank, our food pantry, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, Warm the Children, special programs such as dad's groups and art workshops. Each has seeing increased community demand without corresponding funding support. Continued town allocations are critical to sustaining these services and ensuring that families can access high-quality, family-centered programs when they need them the most. The support provided by the Bennington taxpayers enables Sunrise Family Resource Center to continue filling critical service gaps, respond to high levels of community need, and uphold its mission to strengthen families throughout the county. Ongoing town funding ensures that children, parents, and caregivers have access to the resources, education, and support necessary to thrive. Thank you for your continued support.
Thank you, Patty. Next, we have Turning Point Center of Bennington. We have Ralph Bennett here to speak for them. They are on the ballot tomorrow for $15,000. Ralph, if you will come forward and be recognized for 3 minutes.
My name is Ralph Bennett. I'm the Assistant Director at the Turning Point Center here in Bennington. I'm going to be reading a brief statement here about us. We are the Turning Point Center of Bennington. It is the only peer recovery center in Bennington County, and we run the only men's transitional housing facility in the county. For 26 years, we have been focused on helping clients who are struggling with alcohol and substance use disorder map out an achievable recovery plan and then provide them with the coaching and resources they need to make progress. We have been the lead distributor of harm reduction supplies and information in the area. Turning Point is a peer-led recovery support center. All our services are provided free. We do not charge for anything. No one is turned away at our center. While we serve individuals from across Bennington County, our center staff and daily program are based here in Bennington. This community directly benefits through reduced strain on emergency services, stronger workforce participation, and healthier families. We have people that work with Southern Vermont Medical Center in the emergency department. They're on call from 8 a.m. to midnight every day. And we go up to help those folks that are looking for help with substance use disorder and their families, and do referrals and assessments and helping with the staff there. We also want voters to know that we are intentionally spreading the costs across the county. This year, we are on the ballot in Pownell for $6,000 and in Shasberry for $5,000. North Bennington has supported us through its opiate settlement funding this year, contributing $6,300 to us. Next year, we plan to approach Manchester, Arlington, and Dorset to share support more broadly. Bennington is a regional hub for services, and recovery does not stop at town lines. Our goal is to build a county-wide partnership so that no single town carries the responsibility alone. This $15,000 investment helps ensure our doors remain open and that the recovery support remains free and accessible to anyone that needs it. We do have partnerships with other agencies in town. We work with Probation and Parole, the Battenkill Family Health Center in Arlington, the Sunrise Family Center, Southern Vermont Medical Center, the AIDS Project, Bennington EMS, and Bennington PD, and others. The EMS and police program was started about 2.5 years ago, where they actually will send us referrals of calls they go on. Sometimes it doesn't include an overdose or anything to do with somebody, being intoxicated. It can be as simple, somebody has fallen and broken a leg or hurt their back, and when they're on the scene, they see either a lot of alcohol containers or maybe some drug paraphernalia, and they will send that referral to us with, of course, the patient's permission. And then we reach out to them and try to do whatever we can to help them on their path to recovery. Once again, it's all about the individual, and we try to meet these people where they're at, because we can't just have people expecting them to come into our center to look for help. We have to go to them. Our program with Sunrise Resource Center is something that we do in the homes of these individual families that come to Sunrise for help with the children and family stuff. And then what we do, if there's historically been a problem or if there's currently a problem with substance use disorder with anybody in the home, we come and do our presentation, and we work with those individuals to help the family get back together and reunite. Those are some of the things that we do in town, and I just want to thank you for your consideration and your continued commitment to the recovery in our community.
Thank you, Ralph. Next, we have VNA and Hospice of the Southwest Region, Michaela Facette. They are on the ballot for $21,600 this week. Michaela, you're recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Michaela Facette, and I'm the Director of Communications for VNA and Hospice of the Southwest Region. We, too, are based here, right in Bennington, 45 Franklin Lane, just around the corner from here. I represent your local home health and hospice agency. Oftentimes, people don't think about our services until you need them, but we cover the entire spectrum of life, from pregnancy up and until through the final days of a person's life, and everything in between, from physical therapy, occupational therapy, palliative care, and a variety of pediatric, family, and children's programs. I'm here today to request town funding. Our agency has an exciting year ahead of us. We are celebrating 80 years, which means 80 years of taking care of the community, our family, our friends, our neighbors, 80 years of compassionate, skilled, and dedicated service. And in fact, some of our staff have been working with the agency for nearly half that time, which is so incredible and impressive. You might have started to see some of their stories shared in local newspapers. Some have been serving the community for 20 plus years and working with friends and family that turned into parents and continued the spectrum of life. And we don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. We're committed to serving the community for the next 80 plus years. In 2025 alone, in Bennington County, we served 1,050 patients, comprising of 24,500 home visits. And when I say home visits, that means wherever the patient calls home. And that doesn't include all of the amazing volunteer services that we have to offer, including advanced directive planning on a monthly occurrence at the senior center, our death clinic that is hosted monthly here, at the community market, and so much more. Ultimately, we provided over $2 million in charitable care in this past year. And for those of you that don't know, we provide care to everyone who needs it, regardless of their insurance or ability to pay, which means we provided over $2 million that we will not be reimbursed for. So this is why we are asking for funding. This funding is directly and positively impacting our ability to care for everyone who needs it, friends, family, our community, because no is simply not in our vocabulary. We sincerely appreciate your consideration and ask you to vote yes for our funding this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. Finally, we have the Bennington County Coalition for the Homeless. Cindy Murray is here to speak on their behalf. They're on the ballot for $25,000 tomorrow. Cindy, you are recognized.
Hello, I am Cindy Murray, and I serve on the board for the Bennington County Coalition for the Homeless, and I have prepared remarks by our director, Roxanne Corelli, so I will read those remarks. Good evening, my name is Roxanne Corelli, and I serve as Executive Director of the Bennington County Coalition for the Homeless. On behalf of our board, staff, community partners, and the neighbors we serve, thank you for your continued support of the town of Bennington. This partnership truly matters. For more than 30 years, BCCH has helped families and individuals in Bennington move from homelessness to permanent housing. Today, we operate 2 year-round emergency shelters, one serving up to 9 families at a time, and one serving up to 16 adult individuals. But we are more than just a place to sleep. For every guest works daily with case managers on housing, navigation, and employment goals, budgeting, life skills, and connections to health and community services. Our mission is a program that guides our clients to stability and permanent housing, not prolonged shelter stays. Beyond our shelters, we serve individuals who remain unsheltered with drop-in day services and our community outreach program. Outreach coordinators work directly with those still outside to reduce crisis situations and connect people with housing, healthcare, and essential support. Access to showers, laundry, food, clothing, and coordinated case management helps prevent small crises from becoming public emergencies. We also work we are also working toward expanding our community outreach program into its own dedicated location, a community hub where individuals can access services in one coordinated space. This expansion would strengthen partnerships, increase housing, navigation support, and allow us to intervene earlier before people enter shelter or require more costly emergency responses. Lastly, we are currently seeking a third property that will expand our emergency shelter units. This property will be set up to shelter non-traditional families, families with or without minor children. Your appropriation ensures that Bennington residents experiencing homelessness can access accountable local services close to home. It allows our community to remain proactive rather than reactive. At the end of the day, this vote is about keeping neighbors safe, stabilizing families quickly, and ensuring Bennington has practical, responsible solutions to homelessness. We respectfully ask that you vote yes on our article. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. That concludes our article presentations on budget items tomorrow. When we started the meeting, I should have introduced Daniel Redmond, who has been acting as our sign language interpreter tonight, so thank you to Mr. Redmond for doing that. At this point, the agenda is concluded. Is there a motion to stand in recess until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when voting will begin at the polling places we mentioned earlier in the meeting? There's a motion. Is there a second? There's a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Have a good evening. Thank you.